Hey there, hi, welcome to the channel. I am Garrett and thank you for spending some time with me today because I have returned to my villain era and we are talking about design trends that are on their way out. I am so excited about them and I have to share with you what you need to ditch. And the first trend that we can say goodbye to, that is over, that is out, is tufting. Now, what do we say about tufting? Because as a person who loves great design, and I don't limit myself to like only contemporary, only modern, only traditional, I love it all. Tufting is a part of furniture making. So it's always going to be there. There will always be some of it in a place here or there. And I have it in my home that I'm not getting rid of because the main issue with tufting was too much of it. Too much tufting. It's like every single thing is tufted. I mean, there were sofas that had like tufted seats on them. Can you imagine sitting on that? Like, does that seem comfortable to you? Because not to me. You have to limit yourself when it comes to tufting. 2 pieces in a room, I think, is a good place to leave it. A headboard in a bedroom or a little accent moment. In this room, I will say I do have 3 pieces. This chair behind me has tufts in it, okay? The matching chair opposite me has the same tufting in it because it's a matching chair, and I have a small ottoman with a tufted top on it. All of them are in the same color, 2 of them are matching pieces. There has to be some sort of consistency there. And the same thing goes for my living room. I have a very modern Soriana sofa. It's gorgeous, it's beautiful, I love it, and it's got some tufting on it. Across from that, I have 2 vintage chairs that are still waiting to be reupholstered, but that's a topic of conversation for another video, that have a tufted back on them. I'm relying on that relationship to pull the 2 together because they're not a set. The chairs are a pair, but the sofa and chairs, they don't match, and I don't think they should. So you can do that, you can play with it that way, but tufting, you wanna be careful because if you have a tufted headboard and a tufted chair and a tufted bench and then tufting in the living room and tufted here and tufted chairs in the dining room, like, it's a lot. It becomes a lot very quickly. Having too much tufting everywhere is gonna make your space look dated. It's really those fine details that make the difference when it comes to design and it comes to your home, how you decorate and how you live in it, honey. And if you need any help designing your space, maybe you just need an outside opinion. You need a take on what's happening that is outside of what everyone is telling you, especially the people that you're literally paying to do the job because they want you to pay them more to do it. So beside the point, you can always book a one-on-one consultation with me using the link in the description box down below or going to intro.co/GarrettLaChic. Now the times listed are in your time zone, so make sure you have those VPNs turned off. And yes, I do work with clients internationally, so all of you all over the world, be sure you head down to that link to book a consultation with me. The next design trend to ditch that I don't like, and neither do any designers, is the rod pocket drape. Now, drapery can be very expensive, especially if you've got big windows, you've got high ceilings, it can be expensive. But I don't think that drapery is the place to skimp in your home because if you do, it will show, it will look. Like there was this whole big thing where people were like, oh, you know, these IKEA drapes are the best because they're the best budget friendly, they're most affordable. It's a lot of fabric for the money. Okay, I'll be honest with you. And I'm not trying to shade IKEA in any way. As a matter of fact, I did a really great video all about how to decorate your house only using IKEA. So I do approve of some of their pieces. But like a rod pocket drape, it doesn't matter how expensive it is. It doesn't matter where it came from. It doesn't matter how inexpensive it is. It doesn't look expensive. It just doesn't. It doesn't look expensive. You can get a lot of volume from it, but that doesn't mean it's gonna work. Specifically, I don't like a rod pocket drape because usually you have an expanding curtain rod. Like most of us have it, unless you're having custom ones cut and made for your house, you have an expanding drapery rod. And the rod pocket will get stuck on it. And you'll have to like, you know, shake it up to try and get it over the rod, like extension point. It's a mess. It's a mess and I don't like it. And I don't like to have to fight with things in my house to get them to work. So I don't like those. Also, I love the clean look of pinch pleats. Okay, there's nothing better. There is nothing better than pinch pleats on a drape. And the middle ground is a grommet top drape. They're not my favorite, and I would never specify a grommet top drape, but they're the lesser of 2 evils, if you will. They are a little bit more budget friendly. They take a little bit less work than creating pleats, which are, you know, the pinch pleats, but they don't look as sloppy and messy and they're not as difficult to use as a rod pocket drape. So avoid them because it's out, it's over. I think people were just like really excited that they could get drapery for less. And sometimes it's just what you need, okay? I would personally rather you order like those paper like blinds from Amazon that are, you know, like $2 for a window treatment as a temporary solution instead of buying, you know, a fabric drape that just doesn't look good. I'd rather you save up and do the right thing once instead of like going over and over and over, replacing things multiple times. Pinch pleats are the way to go. And you can get budget-friendly ones, you can get affordable ones. On my Amazon storefront, which is linked in the description box down below, there are some great budget-friendly options that look beautiful. And the rod pocket drape, just let it go. Just let it go. If you have it, I applaud you for getting something that has a lot of fabric, but maybe we can do some sort of hack or DIY that'll get those pinch pleats or that look of pinch pleats in them, and that'll really elevate the look and feel of your home. The next trend we can ditch is the fake olive tree. Ooh, there was a moment there where it was like the fake olive tree was everything. Everybody had to have one. You don't have an olive tree? How are you living? Oh, it's real? Oh, it's real? Oh, it has to be fake. I don't get that. I don't love it. I have like olive trees outside of my house. Like I'm looking at one out of my gorgeous windows right here that do need to be cleaned, but that's beside the point. They're beautiful. Olive trees are actually some of the most like allergic trees. Like a lot of people are allergic to olive trees. So not really the best thing to bring into your house, period, let alone the fake ones. And fake trees, you have to spend a lot of money to get one that looks real. Like I'll just be honest about it. Fake trees tend to look fake. Fake plants tend to look fake. They've got to be like really high end, like almost natural looking. Like if it could fool me from a distance, you're pretty much good on that, but that's far and few between, okay? I can always clock an issue, so I'm gonna notice your fake tree. And there's nothing wrong with having a faux plant or a faux tree in your house. Like sometimes you just don't wanna take care of them. Sometimes you just don't feel the vibe or that energy, or it's like whatever, you know, you might just not have the time in your life to take care of a real plant. I don't, okay? I just don't, I'll admit that. There's nothing wrong with having fake plants within reason. I'm not gonna sit here and be like, every plant in your house should be fake. Like it's nice to have one real plant, or like get yourself a real floral arrangement that you rotate through, but we don't all need to have the same fake olive tree. I get it, you have like, you know, white oak floors and white walls. Yeah, I understand. But why does everybody have to have an olive tree? Why? Why does it have to be an olive tree? Why does everybody have to have one? Like, I don't vibe with that. I don't get it. So I think we can move on from it. And you may also look to see if you can find a indoor plant or tree that is easy to maintain. Like there's lots of watering systems out there where it's like you fill it once a week and then the tree just takes care of itself. That's something that's great too. Fake trees, trendy trees, we can leave it in the past, we can let it go. And for the plant lovers out there, I love and respect you and your plant babies. You're not the problem, you are okay, you're good with me, but it's the fake plant moms. We gotta get it together. We love to have fun here. I love to drag everyone a little bit, or maybe a lot, but that's beside the point. I think that this would be a great time, seeing as how you've made it this far in the video, that you take a moment and reflect and realize the great value this content has, and you should join us by hitting that subscribe button, becoming a part of the Le Chic family, and giving this video a like to help me defeat YouTube's algorithm. And I greatly appreciate those of you who turned up in the first hour and clicked on this video, who have your bell notifications turned on. That really is what gets content shared out there on the platform, and it helps content creators like me grow. So be sure you join us, become a part of our Le Chic family, get your design together, honey, because no excuses, and join us. We would love to have you by hitting that subscribe button. Let's talk about another design trend to ditch. This one is, she's coming for me. She's coming for me hard. She's been coming for me for a few years, and that is gray floors. Ooh, the gray floors. There's a time and a place for them, and that place is in the garbage. No, that was a good joke though. Listen, you can work with gray floors if you have them. I'm not that person that's like, oh, gotta rip it up, gotta get rid of it, because probably it's only 3 to 5 years old, all right? You can work with them by pulling in warmer taupey type of colors, because gray floors are going to have some warmth in them, and we can kind of distract from that gray a little bit through color. And I think that's wonderful. But do not put gray floors in a house. Don't do it. Normal wood is not gray. And I know some of you are going to be out there and be like, oh, but there's like types of boardwalks that go silver, like, you know, cedar shingles. Like, but does that go on a floor? Does that go on a floor? Does that go gray? No. It doesn't. I don't want to hear it. There are no excuses when it comes to interior design. All right. Okay, we have two things to discuss when it comes to these gray floors, and then we're moving on because I'm like traumatizing myself here. One, it looks like a flipper went in and did it because they probably did. Okay, like we're just gonna call it what it is. And it's okay to buy a house that's been flipped that has gray floors. It's okay, but you don't do that yourself. You don't put those in. Number two, if you have gray floors, instead of me just ragging on you like everybody else does to tell you, oh, it's terrible, it's horrible, your house is just ugly, let's talk about how to work with it and elevate it. Okay, so wood naturally has variation in it. We have different tones. You're going to have a gray tone in that flooring. You'll also have a taupe. You'll probably have a beige or a tan tone. So by pulling those taupe and tan and beiges out of the flooring into the furniture, we can work with it. We can make it look a little more natural. It starts with a rug. You need a great oversized rug. Two things happen with the rug. One, we're pulling out a lot of the color we need, which is the taupes and those tans and those beiges, and we're covering up a lot of the flooring that we don't want to see, which has a lot of that gray in it. Next, we add in more soft furnishings like drapery. Okay, that's another good place. Pull the color from the rug into the drapes. It's consistent with the design, it keeps the color flowing, and now we're creating a layer. We're creating depth by having the wood floor that has a little of that gray in it, but a little bit of that beige, and then more of the beige and tan that's happening in the space. You can then start layering in your furniture. You can do this in a slightly different tone. Let's say a sectional in a living room. It could be white, sure, but it could be a oatmeal color, and that would be beautiful, and it has a little bit of warmth in there. You could even go with a charcoal color. That could be interesting, and charcoal actually has warmth to it, as where, you know, like the gray floors might have a little bit of a cool tone to them. So now we're bringing in another warm tone and layering it. Once we do that, we can bring in camel, we can bring in brown, we can bring in a lot of other colors that layer in a seamless way and create a space that feels natural. Gray floors don't have to be, you know, a design, you know, jail sentence. Okay, they can be worked with and made to be very elevated and beautiful, but it's not something you want to put in your house now. The next data design trend that we can leave that we need to ditch. I've talked about it many times before, and I will talk about it again, and that thing is Pampas Grass. I don't like Pampas Grass because I feel like we can do better than dead grass. Sorry, I don't like that. Here's the thing. Pampas grass used in floral arrangements can be stunning. It can be beautiful when done correctly, but like a jar with some dead grass in it is not really giving me what I need. And there was a whole big trend of people being like, oh, this is the perfect Pampas grass and I bought it from here. Like, that's a sales pitch, okay? The Pampas grass was not perfect. It was never perfect to begin with. You don't need that. Also, I live in a neighborhood that has landscaping with Pampas grass. Honey, you come into my neighborhood and you try and cut the Pampas grass, I will call the police. Okay, I'm not even playing with you. I'm gonna call the HOA and complain. I'm gonna call the police and complain, and I'm gonna have them come out here and get you and get my Pampas grass back, which I will then throw in the trash because I don't like. You know, the Pampas grass, it's just like, I think my main issue is that so many people were doing like all neutral spaces, and then it would be like, we have to have a neutral floral arrangement, but instead of having flowers, we're gonna have grass. Like, what is it giving? It's not giving us anything. I need something that makes sense. I'm a tulip person. I love tulips, okay? You can't go wrong with something like that. You can get them at a grocery store, and that's fine. Although you could support a small business and go to a florist, but maybe that's just me. Also, maybe you grow plants, or you have plants outside where you could clip some branches and bring them in. That's wonderful too. I just think if you're gonna have something that's really natural, like, you know, a grass or like a branch or something like that, it should be from your surrounding areas. There's no reason to spend a ton of money on something that is literally just outdoors. Don't go and steal it from your neighbors, depending on the neighbor, or you could ask them. That would be polite also. But Pampas grass, I don't vibe with it. I don't love it. I don't like Pampas grass. It just is like, it's giving me sneezing, it's giving me allergies. How are you cleaning it? How are you dusting that? Because Pampas grass isn't like a flower that's like, okay, we put water in it, now the flower is starting to wilt, like we can get rid of it and let it go. Pampas grass is just like some dusty dead grass in a vase. I don't like that. But I will say it is acceptable outdoors when it is growing on a plant. Now these are data trends that we can ditch officially, but one of the most important rooms in your home has some data trends also that need to go, or we should avoid, and that room would be your kitchen. And you can check out that video right over here to learn all about those data trends in your kitchen that they gotta go. Be sure you check it out, and I will see you over there.